Hi! Wow, welcome to the Shakti Spiral. I have had such an active weekend, and for those who follow me on Facebook and on my Instagram, you know that my daughter Savannah graduated from high school this weekend, and so we had family in, and so it's just been such a whirlwind of energies. So I'm so happy to take a moment to be with you for this hour. So welcome to the Shakti Spiral, the new moon in Gemini. Tonight we get to play in the Gemini energies. So for all of you who are new to the circle, the spiral, I welcome you. My name is Shakti, and I am the High Priestess for the Divine One energy frequency that houses the One Ascension technique that I just so blessed to be part of, and also a lot of other things that are coming forward with teachings and these circles that I do now for over a year. And for those of you who have been with me, I welcome you back, and thank you for taking the time your Sunday evening to be with me. I really look forward to these circles, and as I was prepping for them and thinking about and meditating about what the energies are about, I mean, they have been really intense, and we are now hitting the halfway mark of the year. We are now in June, and it feels like we have gone through a year's worth of experiences. Hasn't it felt that way? I know for me it has felt very, very on the court, very full, integrated into the things that we are not needing in our lives anymore. It's really about looking deeply in within your life and going, okay, does this work? Is this no longer working? And my beloved clients, it seems like they all have this theme in one way or another. We all come from different stories and different backgrounds, but the underlying thread, the underlying theme is things that aren't working or that are coming up to really challenge the beliefs or the life that you're trying to create. So you're being challenged. We are being invited to look within and to say, okay, why is this isn't working? Or what is it that I really want? Or what is it I thought that I wanted? And I realize now I may not really want, now that I maybe have manifested. So what has come into your life that you've worked with the different moon cycles, and being that we are now at the halfway point, what are you looking at now and thinking, maybe I didn't want that so much? Or on the flip side of that, that is something that I absolutely want, and I want more of it because it really is in alignment with the life path that is calling me and that I am seeking. So let's get started with what's going on. And so the fun thing is, the giveaway for tonight was actually given on the Memorial Day weekend, and that was the meditation illumination. I invite you, for those of you who have gotten that gift, if you have not been a part of the newsletters, that you sign up for that, because I will have things like that in there. And also on my social media, I do have things like that where I will announce, okay, today I'm going to be doing a sale, or I'm going to be having for the next 2 days the gift of illumination, the meditation from One Ascension International. And I was purposely guided to gift that for the work that we're doing tonight. So if you have that meditation, I invite you to listen to it for the next couple of days to really solidify what we do tonight. So you can also, if you miss out on that offering, you can find it. I've reduced the price for this time, and so you're able to go on to my products page on oneascension.com, and you can find it there. So without further ado, let's get started. We have a lot to cover tonight, and I really, as we come online, I'm looking at our numbers are going up as we're kind of gathering together. I really want to thank you for taking the time to show up and to sharing your energy in this space, because we are creating change, not only within ourselves, but within the world and in our communities. And then it just kind of expands outward the way a spiral does. So I just want to take a moment and just close your eyes and just take a deep breath, inhaling and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale, breathing together. One last breath, inhale and exhale. And if you have with you some cleansing herb or incense, I invite you to go ahead and get that right now. I burn sage. This is my go-to. I love it. It really packs a punch for me. And besides that, I do have behind me on my altar, I do have my All-Mother incense that I also use. That is really designed for things like this. But for right now, let's just go ahead and clear. I will offer some to you because energy is everywhere. And so you're able to get this as well. I am really grateful for this opportunity to be with you tonight. And so now that we've cleared, oh, it's still going, still needed. Go ahead and clear your screen. Last month, it was funny because I thank you for sticking with me. Those who were with me last month, we had some technical difficulties, and it was just a very interesting energy. I'm grateful to be done with that, and so we definitely are in this new space together. And so now that we've kind of created a vacuum, I like to send blessing to that. And what I love to use is sweetgrass. It is my favorite. It is my go-to. It really brings in a sacred offering to each of us, to our high selves, to our ancestors, above, below, within, and without, all those who have gone before us and those who will go after us. So really just taking a moment to just feel that shift, to feel the energies just rise, to be in that space and give ourselves permission to work in this sacred work and energies together. Okay. So now we're ready to work. I did use, and I will do some again just because I have had such an amazing weekend. But you know how it is when you have family, beloved ones that come and visit, you're not in your normal routine. And so you just kind of, it's excitement and it's fun and it's joy and it's activity, but there isn't a lot of downtime. And so this has been such a wonderful treat for me to kind of come into the space, anointing, and to be with you. So I love the All-Mother oil because it really, like I said, it anchors me. It raises my vibration. And this is something that my body needs as I contain the energy and work with you today or this evening. So, new moon in Gemini. For all of you beautiful Geminis out there, happy birthday. If it was in May or coming up here in June, happy birthday. I am also a Sun Gemini. So I celebrated my birthday last month, and we are a lot of fun Geminis. I think that we can be the life of the party or we can be the stick in the mud. It depends on what kind of day you find us in. And I love the duality of Geminis because they are very well versed in a lot of different areas. I feel like a lot of Geminis, being that we are an air sign, one thing is not enough. We kind of have to explore all the things. We love all the things and we want to meet all the people and go to all the places. And so for a Gemini at times, it can be very challenging to focus on and to kind of contain the energy and to focus on the path and to kind of have that precision and that directed guidance. So we can kind of, our path may look very scanty or chaotic, but we know what we're doing. We know we have our inner compass. And so when we may look like we're off here doing this thing, we kind of come back and veer back on course. And so Geminis have a definitely unique way about them. You can catch them on their moody side at times, but for the most part, they are a lot of fun, but they do work well with earth signs because they need a little bit of that stability. And so isn't it funny for me, like for myself, I have my Mr. Wallace, who is a powerful earth sign. So he keeps me grounded and he can kind of say, hey, how about this? And kind of give me a different perspective. But one thing I do love about the Gemini energy is that being of the twins, you have almost like the yin and the yang energy. You have the duality. You have one way of looking at something, but you have another perspective as well. And so that is kind of what we're going to be doing tonight. We are kind of on that precipice of the solar the solar energies of the summer solstice for here in the north. So wherever you are, there is a solstice energy. And so we are really in that fluctuation of whether going into just the streaming of the solar or the moon, depending on what we're kind of called to with our Geminis. For those who are solar Geminis or moon Geminis, we still have a way of maneuvering in the world. And solar Geminis and moon Geminis, they look different. They act different. So what an expressive sun Gemini, they're out there, and they're very about communication, and they need to talk about things, where internally a moon Gemini may go through it internal. They may be more of the writers, more of the journaling, more of the ones that really need to go introspectively and think about it and go through that way. So the best thing that you can do for a loved one, a Gemini, is to hear them, to listen to them, because they need to talk about it. So this is such a great energy to be in right now for all of us, because we are all influenced by this energy right now in the new moon. So we are now in a wonderful fluctuation of communication. We can communicate and really bring forth, whether it be vocally or in other ways, what it is that we desire. So looking back at the time that we've worked in the different moon cycles, what has worked, what isn't working, what do you love, what do you not love, and how can we maneuver through that energy, looking at the different perspectives into what really works. So working with that, we're going to do a little bit of work tonight on using, with the assistance of Gemini, to use that for our highest good. So what we do is we call in the 4 quarters, and why we do that is we call in actually the 5. We call the four elements, and the 5th being spirit, or like I call the All Mother, or the one energy. And we are made up of all of these elements. And I call them in because it's like calling in your highest aspect, not only for protection, but really to call all aspects, all parts of us on board to really do this powerful work. We need all parts to do it. So if you're ready, let's get started. So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to focus, as I'm calling in these quarters, focus on each of the directions, whatever you may be doing, or just take a moment right now to just really anchor and solidify these elements for yourself. And if you haven't done any work with them, I suggest that you do in whatever way that calls you. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So let's get started. I love this. So I know I'm going a little bit differently this time. I usually do the elements after I've done the spiral, but I really want to do the elements this time the first. So just kind of like just change it up a little bit. So here we go. To the direction of the east, element of air, the sacred, mighty winged ones, where all things begin. To the energy of the Gemini, we call you, come and be part of our circle. To the direction of the south, element of fire, creation, the Kundalini rising, passion, the fire walkers and the fire breathers, we call you, come and be part of our circle. To the direction of the west, element of water, the gestation, embiotic fluid, intuition, all things recorded in history upon Pachamama, recorded within the waters. We call you now, come and be part of our circle. And to the direction of the north, element of earth, our ancestors, those who have walked this path before us, and those who will walk after us. Powerful Pachamama in all of her forms. The power of manifestation. Come now and be part of our circle. We call in the divine one energy to surround us, flow through us, and anchor us into this time and space, into no time and into no space. We call in the blessed All Mother, our beloved guardians and protectors, and our spiritual team. We call you now, come and be part of our circle, witnessing the work that we are doing for the highest good of all. And so it is. And I want you to focus now on your heart chakra, that space here Take a moment and breathe into that space. And I want you to picture a beautiful spiral. It can be any color you choose, getting bigger and bigger, growing, expanding, coming out of your heart chakra until it surrounds you physically. See it getting bigger. And I want you to picture each one of us sitting as if we were in a large circle, wherever we may be in the world, whether we are watching live or whether we are watching later on through a recording. All time being now, we are all gathered together. And so see this now. See us all sitting in a great big circle. And I want you to see your spiral so big, expansive, full of love. And I want you to send this spiral out through your left side so that it goes into the person's right side sitting on your left. And it merges, it dances, it comes together with their beautiful spiral energy, their heart energy. Beautiful colors dancing together, and you see it exiting their left side into the person on their left, receiving it to their right. And so it goes clockwise, around and around. All united, all one. Seeing it going and traveling around the circle. Oh, and there are so many people here tonight. Welcome, welcome. Until you find this energy now, this beautiful spiral energy coming in through your right side. See the beautiful color spectrum. All beautiful colors dancing with yours for the highest good of all involved. Circling around, merging with your spiral. And so it is that we are all now connected in this sacred circle, ready for this work. Welcome. And breathing into the space, let's all just take a moment to just inhale. As we exhale, breathing life, breathing light into this space. And so welcome. So I did want to talk to you a little bit about tonight and also just the things that have been happening, what I have noticed and what I have been guided to share. We are in a really powerful fluctuation of energies right now. It is no accident that we are in a grand trine. There is a lot of just influence when it comes to the new moon energies, and they're not like they used to be. They're not like where, oh, okay, I really, really just want, something superficial. And even though we can want those things, we are being guided to really go deeper and look deeper. The things that we've been putting off, maybe addressing, or the things that we thought we addressed, like I have said in previous rituals, it's now coming forward. You're no longer able to just really skirt about it. It's really going forward and proclaiming your freedom and your authentic life, proclaiming freedom from those things that have been holding you back, or that you have felt have been holding you back, or those things that have kept you feeling unworthy, or maybe there are areas in your life that you need to forgive yourself for. Whatever they may be, it's time to really assess what that is and release the past, release it. And even though people can think that that is easier said than done, it does happen instantaneously. My sister and I were just talking about it, how sometimes it takes time to heal. We believe that that's an old paradigm. And I was saying, actually, it's instantaneous. Healing can happen instantaneously. It happens actually instantaneously. It's the human that slows it down to become what it needs to be for the timeline it needs to be the process needs to go through for healing, and then it becomes solidified in truth. So what that means is you're the one in charge of how fast or how slow healing happens in your life. You're the one who is in charge of being open and ready to receive the healing. You're the one in charge of what direction your life is going to go in and what it is that you feel you're ready for. And if you're not ready, it won't happen, no matter how much you really want it to happen. If you really fully don't believe you're ready, it won't happen until you are. So take note as we are getting together and we're gathering in this energy with your journal or with just your attention. Take note of what you feel, what you really were feeling drawn to in the past, and what you feel drawn to now. And we're going to look at that. We're going to look at that tonight. I love that we can use these energies of the Gemini to do that, and because it really is a powerful invitation to look at the different perspectives. So take two people, for example. You will use the symbology of the twin. You can have two people witnessing the very same thing, and they will tell you most of the time two different stories. One person may have noticed one thing that the other may have totally missed, and vice versa. And the reason that is because we only see so much and can perceive so much at one time, or we see things that have meaning to us where other people, it doesn't really have a meaning, and so they just don't even pay attention to it. And that's the way it is in life. We look at the things that have meaning to us, and the things that really don't have value, we don't really, or don't have a value to us, or we don't have an experience with, we don't really pay much attention to. But what we're doing tonight is we're going to start to look at the things that we don't pay attention to, because there are so many opportunities that we miss out on, or that we don't take part of because we're not aware of them, because we don't allow ourselves to see more. And what I love about the air signs is that you can use it like the mighty winged ones, who the great hawk, who has this aerial viewpoint, this vantage point, and can see so much, versus maybe those that are on the ground and just kind of have what's in front of them. And so with the energies that are happening, with what we're going into and what we're being invited to look at, is there are a lot of fraudulent energies, things that are not authentic to our lives, that are really pushing our buttons, looking at what it is that we are really willing to let go of. How much more are we really willing to put up with something in our lives that really is not part of the path that we're supposed to be on. And another thing, a lot of people get so caught up in, oh my gosh, am I on the right path? Am I on the wrong path? Without really going within and trusting their own inner guidance. And here's how life path and purpose works. It will find you because it is your life path and purpose. It's not some mysterious thing out there, elusive and where you have to go on this huge expedition to look for. It will find you. It's part of you. It is you. Your high self is guiding you all the time to that. And even though you may think you're on a detour, there's valuable information and experience to be had in that so-called detour. So trust your experiences, and trust when you are feeling that something isn't right, or that you really don't feel like doing something. Trust that there's a reason why. Trust that there's a reason why you're being called to do certain things, even though you may not know. You may think it's just an interest that you have, or this feels good at the time, and you may not have a reason why. Trust your instinctual intuition. Trust those psychic abilities that you have, that you may have been afraid of, or that you're really wanting now to bring forward. Trust all of that, because we are really on board, and we're really being invited to look at all aspects of ourselves. All the gifts that we are given, they're not just there to take up space. They're there for a reason, and it's time to utilize them. So with the energies of the east, of the air, where all things begin, where we start to create from, let's take a look at where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes. Again, I want you to, for those who've been with me and for those who are new, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to picture a beautiful magical shelf. The shelf is magical because we can place all of our worries, our cares, our concerns. We can put this on the shelf, and they can be left there, and our spiritual team takes care of them, or the Divine One Energy, All Mother, whomever is guided to take care of them will take care of them for us. Or that we can pick them up also at the end of our ritual together. It's up to you. All choices are yours. So you can leave them or you can take them at the end. But give yourself permission to put all things that may be on your mind today or this week or month. Put them all on the shelf now, knowing you can come back to them if you choose. The shelf can be as ornate or as plain as you would like it to be. And just go ahead and do that. The worries, cares, or concerns can take form. They can look like different types of jars, or they can be symbolic. However, just go ahead and place them on that shelf now. And I want you now to focus on your navel, like where we think about these solar plexus. They're going into in the north. We're going into the solstice, the summer solstice, with those solar energies. Let's focus on our navel, our solar plexus chakra. It's a little bit above the navel, like 2 finger widths. So let's focus there. This is the place where our divine will is held. This is the I will. And this is the space where we really put into manifestation what we are ready to create. So I want you to see a beautiful, powerful yellow, brighter than the sun, spiraling, getting bigger, like a beautiful solar disk. See yourself stepping on into the solar disk. And from here, we're going to travel to the past. We're going to go back to a time where we felt inspired, where we had a dream for our lives, what it was supposed to look like, what we wanted to do. So I want you to allow yourself now to travel to this time. And if you don't know, it's okay. Just feel it and trust what you get. And I want you to picture yourself. What do you look like? What are you doing? How are you dressed? I want you to feel the energies of this something that inspired you. A moment may have happened where you thought, wow, that's it. That's what I want to do. Or that's who I am. And I want you to feel that space now. I want you to feel that energy now. This is a place, usually it takes place for children. It could be when you were an adolescent, young adult. It could be after your 20s, 30s, 40s, it doesn't matter. But it's a very powerful place because it was a place inside of you where you knew infinite possibility. In that moment, you didn't worry about how it was going to happen. You just knew that you wanted it to happen, and you felt that surge of energy. So allow yourself to try to replicate that, or even feel that now, that surge of energy, that exciting space where this is what I want, and this is what I want my life to be, or this is who I want to be, or this is who I am. Feel that now. And send blessing now to that moment in time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessing yourself. And come back now on that solar disk from that space of your solar plexus. Traveling back, come back. Take a moment now, open your eyes. What did you feel? I know that it was quick. It wasn't meant for you to be there and tarry there long. I mean, you can always go back. But the whole point is, what did you feel? How did you feel in your body? Or what kind of sensations did you feel? Did you have excitement? Did you have expansion? Was there wonderment? What did you feel? Did you feel infinite? Did you feel like endless possibilities were upon you, that you could do anything in that moment? For me, it was when I was a little girl. I felt I just knew that there was something more for me out there. There were times in my life when I would look up at the stars and I knew my home was there. I just knew there was an inner knowing. No one told me. I didn't even know what it was I was meant to do. That come, maybe 30 years later in my life, I would be sitting here and sharing this moment with you. But that's how things happen. So I want you to look at your life now. Is it a reflection of that past moment? This is not about judgment. This is about assessment, because this is what these energies are about today. Assessing where you are from where you've been. And it's using that powerful energy of creation, that powerful surging of inspiration to fill your path out, to feel and assess where you are now. So, what does your life look like in comparison to that moment? Without judgment, just observe it. Observe it from the perspective of our hawk, the winged one, a fuller perspective, where things that you may have missed out or you may not have paid attention to, things that maybe you were maybe a little bit afraid or thought or bought into a story that it maybe was too late for you, or you didn't know how, or you didn't have maybe the resources or the location or whatever, fill in the blank. Or maybe you are on track. Whatever that is, just feel that now. Take note of it. And now assessing from either where you are, knowing that, yeah, you're in the perfect place, or that there needs to be a little bit of work. I want you to close your eyes again. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to now look to your third eye, looking in and up, in towards the brow. I want you to think about the future. The future is created in the now. So I want you to think about going from the past, where you are now, and where you want to be headed, your desire. What do you visualize for your future? So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to spiral outward to that indigo blue, like the night sky, like the new moon where it's dark, but there still is some light somehow. And on that disc, we're going to travel to the future, to our future selves. It doesn't matter how old we are, how young we are. We're going to go to our future selves now, into that space and time where what we have truly desired is manifested. It doesn't matter how we got there. Everything is infinite and all possibilities are upon us. So from that space, I want you to take a look at yourself. But this is going to be a little different. Your future self has a message for you. So I want you now, with one hand on your heart and one hand on your womb or your lower tummy, which is called a na'au. For men, your gut instinct. I want you now to hear the words of your future self. You can hear them, you can feel them. There may be an understanding, but see yourself now in the space where what you truly desire has been inspired by has now been manifested. What are you doing? How do you look? And allow yourself to receive the messages you need now. Just a little longer. How do you feel knowing that what it is you've deeply desired has manifested? And if you're not in complete alignment, ask, what can you do to be in full alignment with this reality? With deep appreciation, thank your future self for the information shared. And it's time to come back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Back on that beautiful indigo blue disc, traveling back. Come into the space and time now. Allowing yourself to be in your body again. You can see the different energies there. So be now in this very present moment. What did that feel like? Traveling to the future and speaking with your future self. What did that feel like? What was different? What did you note? Were there any changes that you need to make? Was there a piece of understanding or peace of mind given to you? If you have something to write with, I take a moment right now to write it down, or intend that you'll remember if you don't have anything to write with. But I'll give you a couple of moments. So now, with that guidance that was given to you, whether it was to be to change up a couple of things, let go of a couple of things, or to keep going, whatever your message was, I want you again to put your hand on your heart with this message, and one hand again on your womb or your now. And I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe deeply into this present space, knowing that infinite possibilities, all things are given to you, nothing is withheld. So breathe into that now. And as you exhale, breathe in life. All things start here in this world with breath. Life begins with breath. Life ends with breath. So as you inhale all the possibilities, exhale life into this reality. Breathe this reality into manifestation. Hold it, believe it, solidify it. The fuller vantage point is you can always change your course. You do not have to stay on the course you are charted for yourself if it is not working. Give yourself permission now to change your course if you need to. And the message from the All-Mother is, with your eyes still closed, receive this message now. Beloved ones, hear me now and know, no matter what story you have been told, no matter what story you may believe, you are worthy of everything you desire. Nothing is withheld from you. Nothing is required of you except for you to let go of the belief that you must prove yourself to the world, to me, to you. Let go of the belief that there is still something to be, more to become. You were born into this world already full, already expansive. It is the knowing now, the trusting that needs to take place. It is detaching from the stories, the belief systems, the things that harrow in your mind and keep you limited. It is time to let go and give yourself permission to release them now. You were lovingly held as you let go and give yourself permission to create a new possibility, a new world, a new way of being. I have never been without you. You have always been with me. You are stronger and much more capable than you know. And it's time to believe this truth. Be willing to see all the possibilities that you may have overlooked. Be willing to see clearly. Be willing to see the unseen. And be willing to trust in self. You are loved. You are loved. You are love. And just take a moment to breathe that in. And let these energies assist you with creating now, in this very moment, instantaneous healing, instantaneous activation to the life that you are meant to live. Breathe into that and open your eyes. And with that space, how do you feel now? How do you feel now compared to the stories that you may have told yourself in this present moment before? Things shift and change with every breath. Think of it that way. Things can shift and change instantaneously. Give yourself permission to recreate a new idea and understanding that all time being now, all healing is now. All manifestation is now. And we are really going into that time where manifestation is happening faster. Haven't you seen that? Karma really is a thing of the past. It is time to catch up to that understanding and ideal. We are no longer becoming indebted. We are being creative. And in that space, the things that we may have missed out on come back full circle again quicker. The things that we may resist comes back fuller and quicker. There's so many things that are main manifest to us now. There's so many opportunities, and these energies, as well as that, they're intense. They're intense for a reason, because we are really full board on this court of life, on the precipice of this change in consciousness. Humanity is going through a huge influx of awakening, and in doing that, some people are kicking and screaming. In fact, I have some beloved friends and clients who have asked, if we've discussed things, why does it feel so hard, or in that space of expansion, of expansiveness, where the ego likes to trigger you and to feel left out. So it'll kind of go into like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to be what it is I know I'm supposed to do. Well, think of a child. A child doesn't necessarily know how it's supposed to be. It just is, and it just naturally allows expression to happen. And so as we continue this path, as we continue to give ourselves permission to live more authentically and to be more in alignment with who we are, and letting go of things, even if we may have that connection of nostalgia or history with them, when we let that go, the ego likes to act up and say, well, where's my place here? We don't know this unknown place and this expansiveness. And so I call it the newborn syndrome, where, like, the newborns, when they come out of the womb, they kind of like move their arms and hands like their arms like this is so big, because they're used to the womb swaddling. And so we have to swaddle them in blankets so they can feel more secure. Well, that's kind of like, think of that metaphorically, like the ego likes to do that. Like, this is too big of a space for me. I don't know how to interact here. Where is my space? And so we can feel like we're reverting or going back to old ways of being. And in that time, take notice, and intend now that you'll take notice when that does happen, or if it does happen for you, so that you can say, okay, I'm acting up because I may have some fear triggered here about what the future looks like, or how I'm supposed to be in that space. But what you need to just simply say is, what works? What is working? How do I feel? How can I get to feeling better? I want to feel more connected, or I want to feel more reassured, or whatever. But the whole point of that exercise would be to be mindful of why you feel what you feel and what you need to give yourself to feel better. It could simply be you know what? We're going to be okay. We're going to work through this, and doing something that feels good. Do something that feels good. So take time to do something that also feels good to you, that nurtures you as you're going through this process, and be gentle with yourself, because it isn't even though it may feel so radical at times, when you also need the time, a little bit of downtime to process through it. So it's okay. Trust the method. Not avoiding it, though. There's a difference between allowing yourself downtime and there's avoidance, because you'll feel the difference, because it'll still ping at you. It'll still say, hey, you're not really paying attention here. Whereas when you've taken a little bit of downtime, you feel peace, and you feel like you can breathe a deep breath, and things just feel better. So that's the energies that we're in right now. It's really kind of like a continuation. Each month, it seems like we're kind of building, and we're building upon what we did last month, and we're building upon what we're going to do next month. And it's a continuation of this, because it really is that final year, the final cycle in the 9. Remember, I had been saying in many rituals that we are in a 9 year, which is 2 plus 6, plus 1 plus 6, 2016 equals 9. And 9 in numerology is about endings. It's about the full cycle. Human beings go through a 9 cycle lifetime span. Then we begin again, another, starting at 1 to 9 again. So when we're in those energies, we are really invited now to put things to rest that aren't working. And this is why we're doing all of this work this year. And we've come just out of the gates doing the work. Like I said, we're only in June. We're halfway to that halfway point of the year, and it feels like a year's worth of work and experience. And it will continue that way, because the universe is working for us, not against us. Our high selves are working for us, not against us. It's really about being in that space. So what do you have for yourself? What do you intend? What are you ready to seed in the energies of the Gemini? What did you really think that you wanted versus what you may authentically want? It may look different, but if it is the same thing, if it really is, and you've given yourself permission to look at it deeply, then what can you do to still cultivate that dream if it hasn't manifested yet, those intentions? And so we're going to do that right now. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to visualize symbolically what your dream looks like, what your inspirations are, your intention looks like. Picture it in your hands, holding out your hands, and picture your dream symbolically there. What does it feel like as you hold it in your hands? This powerful seed of intention. What does it feel like? Now I want you, with all of your passion, love, belief, your trust, your truth, I want you to breathe into this symbol now. Breathe the ball. And one last time. Now take it to your mind's eye. Take it to your heart. And take it to your solar plexus. And take it into your sacral chakra. Activating it on all levels. You see it, you feel it, you create it, you are it. So now, take a moment, if you haven't already, to, after this ritual is done, to just jot down some ideas, or if you have any inspiration or different feelings that you may have felt or experiences that you have gone through. Take a moment to write them down, and maybe a plan of a course of action in the sense of, from this moment on, I release the belief of, and say what it is. Or you may want to burn that, or you may want to just say, from this moment on, which I like even better, I believe, and fill in the blank, and the affirmative. From this moment on, I believe that I am in complete alignment with my path. From this moment on, I trust my intuition, my psychic abilities and gifts. From this moment on, I am in full alignment, complete alignment with my high self. From this moment on, I choose to see the unseen. And from this moment on, I choose to hear the unheard. And when you go into that space, from this moment on, you're proclaiming a different life. And do those things to support that. Okay, and my beloved friends, we are now nearing the hour. So I wanted to give this last piece of advice to you, and that is, don't take this all so seriously. Things change so fast, and don't mark your success by another's. Everyone's looks different because they're meant to. We are all different expressions of the divine. We all have our unique inherent gifts. They look different in the world. We may do the very same thing that another does, but it's still our energy, and so it'll have our own flair on it. Trust your path. Trust that you are meant to do whatever it is you're called to do, even if it may look like another does it. It's still not you doing what it is you're called to do. You may have a different offering, a different spin on it, a different way, because you are unique. And if you're being called to do it, there's a reason why. So trust that. No longer needing to replicate what's been done. Trust that you have the ability to do what you're being called to do. That's yours. Okay, and so if you have any questions, you can always connect with me through the ShaktiSprout1Ascension.com. I would love to hear what experiences you've had, but know that you are in complete sacred hands, loving hands, and you have a sacred spiritual team waiting to assist you. Just simply ask. They're there for you. You are definitely not meant to do this work alone. And auspiciously, you're definitely here for a reason tonight, watching this video or this live stream. So think of that. All things happen for your highest good and in your favor. From this moment on, you believe that. Okay, now, with our eyes closed in full, complete gratitude, I want to take a moment before we release the elements, the quarters, and release the circle, to just send love to each and every one of you in this circle. I send my love, I send my appreciation, my gratitude, that you show up here with me each and every month and partake in these energies and share your energy here in support of another. And if there's anybody in this beautiful, loving circle who needs extra support and help, we call upon the sacred divine to assist. If somebody feels alone or unaware, we call on the sacred divine to assist. for the highest good of all involved. For those who may be in pain or suffering, we call upon loving assistance to be released from this story and to choose a new one of love and of peace and comfort. And take a moment to think of the world that we live in, sending healing energy to the world, to Pachamama and to her children, all sentient beings. Take a moment to send blessing without judgment, focusing on the possibility of what can be for the highest good of all. Send love and send blessing. Thank you. And we will continue to do these circles as long as they are of service. I will continue to do them each and every month as long as they are of service and serve you. That is my gift. That is my sacred offering as I am on this path with the One Ascension. And I've been called to work with the All-Mother. I will always do these circles if it is serving for the highest good and they are of service. So thank you for being with me this month. Now, next month is interesting for us in the United States. It falls on Independence Day, the new moon. So I will be doing it on June 3rd, the day before. That way we can still gather, because a lot of people, I want to take the time for people to celebrate with their families and to do what they need to do. So we want to honor family or just connection in that way as well, because it's just as important. So we will be gathering on July 3rd instead of July 4th, which the new moon falls on. Which is fine, because 2 days before and 2 days after are the new moon energies anyways. So we'll just kind of focus on that. So that's something to keep in mind. And I will create the event page for that. So keep looking for that. And if you haven't followed me yet on any social media, I suggest invite you to. I would love to be friends. And also on Google Plus and YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, as well as in the newsletter on oneascension.com. That way you don't miss out on anything exciting being offered there. My love and appreciation to you, and thank you for being part of all of this. So it's time now to close our circle, or to open our circle. Well, however way you look at it. Thank you, beloved All-Mother, sacred spiritual teams. Thank you to our ancestors, and thank you to the Divine One energy for being here, part of our circle. To the direction of the north, element of earth, sacred Pachamama, earth keepers and record keepers, we thank you for being part of this circle. To the direction of the west, element of water, the water keepers and the record holders, we thank you for being part of this circle. To the direction of the south, element of fire, the fire breathers, the fire walkers, we thank you for being part of this circle. And to the direction of the east, sacred mighty winged ones, element of air, the sign of the Gemini, where all things begin, we thank you for assisting tonight and being part of this circle. And I want you now again to focus on the beautiful spiral that surrounds you, releasing the energy that is not yours through your right side, watching it unwind counterclockwise around our circle, watching it go counterclockwise around and around, releasing all the energy, the beautiful energy that was shared tonight, until your energy comes back through your left side, focusing again on your beautiful spiral, contracting it, circling the spiral, in your energy in, concentrating it, giving thanks, appreciation, and love for the opportunity to share this beautiful heart space with so many beautiful people and our sacred tribe. We are a spiritual tribe, and thank you to each one for bringing your heart and your love into this space, contracting it again until it rests safely inside your heart chakra. And we are done. So again, the giveaway for this month was the Illumination Meditation, and I welcome you to and suggest that you listen to it for the next 3 days. If you can listen tonight, it's 20 minutes long. Tomorrow, the next day, that'll help solidify what the work that was done today and or this evening, and it will really help to anchor in what it is that you are really wanting to manifest for yourself, and any questions that you may have through that Illumination Meditation. And if you don't have it, you're welcome to go on to oneascension.com and get a copy. It's a digital download. And for those of you who have it or are going to download it, make sure that you did it from a computer platform. Doing it on your phone, it kind of limits the way you can do it. So just go onto a computer and then download it from there, and then you can upload it into any kind of device, listening device that you may have for the meditation. So again, thank you for being with me tonight. I love each and every one of you so much, and I look forward to next month. And the experiences that you had tonight, go ahead and you can share them if you want to on the event page of this evening or in the live streaming video on YouTube. My love to each and every one of you, and we will talk again really soon. Mwah.